Wednesday, everyone. I wanted to get into going gray at a young age, or in general, I guess. But for me, I got my first silver white hair when I was about 19 years old. I was in my car, I pulled down the visor to check everything before I was going in to have lunch with a friend, and I saw this silver white just waving at me from the center of the top of my head, and I freaked out. I just plucked it and kept going on about my business. But since then, it's been, a good 14 years-ish since then, and I have gotten quite a few more silvers. I, between now and then, have done a slew of different, colorings and highlights, blonde, red, just having fun with my hair. And now that we are homesteading, and given the circumstances, I've been trying to be a lot more money conscientious of my hair, as well as healthier. Just over time, I've kind of become more aware of what all is actually in products and just how much I don't like all the chemicals and things that are out circulating in the world now. So I thought this would be a great topic, because going gray up until the Frozen movie was a ominous thought. Every girl, I guarantee, has gone, oh, I wonder whenever I'm gonna start getting grays, or the first time they see one, they gasp. When we decided to go glamping, I wanted to assess our budget and see if there were any ways that I could squeeze a little bit more out to go into the house. So the hair salon was one of the things that had to go. I had a good little talk with myself about that, and I became resolute to the fact that, okay, this will save us a bunch of money. I was going every between 4 and 6 weeks roughly, because my hair naturally is a very dark brown, almost black. So when those silvers would pop up, it was extremely noticeable, and it was like, hey, 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 especially in the sunlight, my hair just shimmers like a glittery strand hanging out in my hair. So it was a big jump for me, and when I first did it, what I did was I went to the salon and had them give me baby lights. So baby lights are a miniature version of highlights. It's just very thin strands of the bleaching process. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about that, because I don't like bleaching my hair. It damages it so bad. But I wanted to do something to help it blend, and that's the standard answer you'll get from a salon when talking about wanting to grow your hair out naturally if there are grays up there. So that's what I did, and then because of some other situations of things going on the home front, I wound up not going back at all for any kind of touch-ups or anything like that. I just kind of was riding it out, and that was for, I want to say, a good 8 months that I was just letting my hair be. And around that 8-month mark, there was a lot that had changed and gone on in our life, in my life, and I needed some kind of something to make me feel better about myself, and just, every now and then you need like a little pick-me-up. And so I had found a beauty school. I was trying to be, money conscientious, and I found a beauty school that I'd heard great things about. So I tried to go there and ask them to do a balayage, so just the ends of my hair down to apply some bleach to help it kind of fade better, because those ends were still darker from even whenever it had been growing out. From where the baby lights were, there was still like a darker undertone that I was not happy with. So I thought if I did that, maybe it would give me a little bit of edginess. But the balayage, I wanted to actually, in addition to the baby lights that were coming in, I wanted to tone all of that gray, like a silvery gray. And the lady, or the gal that was doing my hair, she was like, yeah, it's totally doable. Well, a couple of mistakes. First thing, she put the bleach like here. Balayages are like the end of your hair. She first like did like a swoop, like right here, real thick, up top. So while I was coping with what she had done, we were improvising, and I thought, okay, you know what, that's fine. I wanted to cut a little length off anyway. will just, it'll make the growing out process easier. So we, march forward. Well, it turns out that my hair, after being bleached and then applying a toner, it turned like this nasty mermaid moss, mermaid green. I don't know what you would call it, but it wasn't like a pretty mermaid green. It was like a really dingy, like swamp mermaid green. It was horrible. And so it did the opposite of what I was hoping it would do, which was trying to just lift my spirits a little bit and make me feel better about everything going on. And so they had me come back a second time. I don't know if this is smart or dumb of me, but they again bleached it out, and by then my hair was like starting to get real frazzled. But they applied a different concoction of toners, and this was the instructor that had stepped in to try to help. And what I wound up with that time after leaving the salon was significantly shorter hair that looked like an X-Men character. I had like blue ends and bits going on, like bright blue. Now it's probably that's probably the boldest thing I've ever done. I stay pretty neutral with my hair. I've tried different colors, but fairly toned down, but this was like intense. So one of the things that she did tell me, and a tip for anyone that out there that tries bleaching and then toning their hair, don't wash your hair with hot water. So apparently the heat, the hot water, strips all of the toner that you've already put into your hair. So if you're toning your hair, don't use hot water because it strips the toner that you've already put into your hair. Well, for me, that was an advantage because I wanted that stuff to come out of it. I really didn't want what they had done to my hair, and I would almost rather have just the bleached ends than the X-Men blue that was going on. So I did use hot water a couple of times and lightened it up a bit, and then I was happy. It was good. I was rocking a gray, but I just rocked that for a while, and I allowed it to fade into that blonde. Fast forward 8 months since the salon incident, and this is pretty much what my hair looks like. Now, what I have done since then is I've gotten it kind of trimmed up and shaped a little bit better. Other than that, the only thing that I recently just did was I put a toner, a T14 Wella toner on it, and a 20 developer. Now, the developer lightened my natural shade. As you can see right now, it's like more of a medium brown, medium to dark medium brown. And then the ends, it didn't really do a whole heck of a lot except for just take out some of those yellowy orangey tones. And then I just recently put Pravana Vivid Color, and I put the silver. I actually have it, yeah. The Pravana Chroma Silk Vivids, the silver. I put this on after the Wella toner was starting to fade, and it turned it this bluish silver. So I don't know what it is with my hair that makes the silver turn it blue, but I guess if you're a hair expert, feel free to chime in and let me know what the heck is going on with that. But it's probably the last time I'm gonna wanna try this anyway. I have enough gray growth out that the next time I go to a salon or do anything is gonna be to just take a little bit more length off to try to get the rest of this bleached, or the majority of the bleached out, because then I'll be looking at, for the most part, a clean head, with the exception of the 20 developer that I had put on it. I'm liking it that thus far. A couple of things, again, that bleaching, if you're gonna do it, make sure you condition your hair frequently, because it can get really brittle and yuck depending on how much heat you use to style or do anything to it. But I would encourage you to try it if you are younger and you're seeing a bunch of silvers popping out, to just maybe give it a chance, to stop fighting that battle and stop losing so much money in a salon, and see how it grows out, because that's the uniqueness of silver hair, and it's what I love about how we are beautifully and wonderfully made, is that each head is unique. There's not a single person whose natural silvers or grays or whites, whatever you want to call them, are going to be the same. It's a different pattern, and it's really neat. My hair when parted the way I currently have it, it has like a brown, almost like a low light. It has a brown low light naturally just hanging out right there. But if I were to part my hair on this side, there are silver highlights, and it's very silver throughout here and all over the back portion of my head. So it's interesting the way that my hair naturally has low lighted and highlighted itself, and I've enjoyed trying to make that work. There are a few days here and there that I'm just frustrated, and because I've been used to seeing myself in a much darker tone, but the primary irritation I've had is this bleached end. So I'm gonna try to chop that out here for too long if it drives me completely nuts and I have a moment of insanity. But I've mentioned trying to buzz my hair, chopping it really short, and Charlie and Kaya don't really like that idea very much. Ben's all for it, but the others aren't too keen on the idea of seeing me, rocking really short hair. So we'll see how it goes. A couple of items I want to mention: if you are considering going gray, get some purple shampoo. I know everybody talks about it, but really it is very helpful to keep it like silvery white and not make it a dingy yellowed or orangey color. This one, Shimmer Lights, is the most inexpensive but effective shampoo I have found, and I love this. Now, I don't wash my hair every day because I have naturally curly hair. It tends to be a little drier and a little bit more coarse. Add the graying on top of that, because the grays are a little bit more coarse and unruly. They are rebellious little hairs. Then I don't wash my hair every day. I only wash my hair every 3 to 4 days, actually. So I use this almost every time I shampoo, but you don't have to. You could do it like once a week or once every couple weeks, depending on how your hair responds to it. There are a couple of other shampoos worth mentioning. Their names are a little bit crazy. So what I'm just gonna do is I will put them in the link, or put their links down below. They are a little higher end, they're a little more pricey, but they are a little bit more potent and effective. So while this is cheaper, it is effective and it does work, but not as fantastic as a couple of the other ones I'll put links to below. In case, I'll put a link to this one as well. That's pretty much the story that I have of going gray and my project I have in the works right now. It's, a couple of years worth, or just over a year and a half's worth of growth that I'm working on, and I hope I can stick with it. I think I can. And I encourage you to give it a try if you are trying to find a way to save some money. It just takes a little bit of courage if you are younger and you're worried about it aging you. Just all that matters is how you rock it, and I would love to see some of you guys, if you have a story similar to mine or you are rocking the grays, feel free to comment below so I can give you a high five or encourage you in any way. I would love to get some pictures or videos of other girls who are rocking their gray, so feel free to shoot them into my inbox, and I'd be happy to do a compilation showing what everybody else has got working on. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and 4th of July is coming up next week, so if you're traveling this weekend, please stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.